Hi, welcome back to my channel, Tracy's Local Learnings. Today I am going to take you from beginning to end of a classic to have on your pantry shelves, ready to go, of wieners and beans. I'm not telling you how to do it, I'm just showing you how I do it. Okay, so you're bringing your sauce up to temperature. You want to kind of have it at a low simmer going there. You want to boil some water to top up your jars. You want your jars out. You want to have checked them for any cracks or chips along the rims or any dents in your lids if you're reusing the one-piece lids. I also will be putting my jars in the sink of hot water along with my lids in a bowl of hot water. Okay, so we have our hot lids, we have our hot sauce, we have our hot beans that we're going to pour boiling water over. Just going to do that to get them nice and hot to go with the sauce. I'm going to let them sit there while I get the rest of my stuff together. I've got my funnel, my ladle, and now I'm going to get some jars. So normally when I can my beans, I dry can my beans, which I will do a video of. However, because I'm doing wieners and beans, this isn't something that I'm going to be able to rinse when I open the jar, like my kidney beans. When I open a jar of kidney beans, I can just rinse them again, right? So that's why I'm going through the soaking process, the baking soda process, and the hot water to make sure that my beans are good to go when I open them. They're edible right out of the jar. Okay, so here we go. These are the 3-cup mason jars that I'm reusing. So there'd be different measurements if you were doing dry canning beans, and there'd be different measurements if you do a full overnight soak. Sorry guys. Remember how I'm always like, get your stuff ready ahead of time to save yourself time? Well, here I am. Okay, so I'm going to quickly strain off these beans because you put them in hot water, and then we're good to go. Some people do bring them back to a boil for a half hour. I think the canning process will do that for me. Okay, so I'm going to go with, let's see. Whoops. I'm going to fill my jar probably, I don't know. Let's see. A little over halfway full. Okay. Then I'm going to put half a cup of Wieners. And then I'm gonna put my sauce. Oops. Where's my funnel? Okay. Now, again, everybody does their stuff different. My kitchen, my rules. I leave, it calls for a 1-inch headspace. I like to leave a half an inch headspace. I just find with the Wieners, it just gives you a little bit more sauce in the end product. And they all seem to be sealing quite well, so I'm okay with that. Alright, now I take my debubbler. Well, you can use this, but because I'm using it as a headspace tool, I don't want it to be all gross. So I'm using a plastic chopstick just to make sure there's no air trapped underneath anything. And then I'm gonna take my hot lid, or warm lid, and I'm, oops, hang on here. Hang on, I forgot a step. So you just take a cloth, dip it in your vinegar, and give this a quick wipe to make sure there's no sugars, no fats, no juice, or anything on the rim of the jar to stop the seal from happening. Put your lid on, just a little bit snug down like it is a one-piece lid, so it's not the same tightness as if you were using the two-piece lids, right? Okay, so here we go again. I have my next jar. I'm gonna fill it about halfway. So yeah, a little over halfway. And then I'm going to put in a half a cup of chopped up Wieners because he doesn't like weenies and beans. And look at this, you don't have to do anything. You don't even have to open the can. You just got, or I guess you got to open the jar, but you don't have to cut up the Wieners. You don't have to go get the Wieners, like whether they're in the fridge or the freezer. It's already done. It's just done, and everybody's happy. I know it makes me happy. Okay, again, I'm gonna debubble. I'm gonna add a little tiny bit more sauce because I'm just leaving a 1/2 inch headspace. I really want them to be nice and juicy, you know. If you leave the 1-inch headspace, I find that they're a little dry. Okay, so that should be my 1/2 inch. Yes, that's my 1/2 inch. So right there, it's good to go. I could actually take just like a spoon back out just to be on the safe side. Then I'm going to wipe my top of my jar, and this is an excellent opportunity to make sure again that there's no nicks or chips or cracks in your jars, because that sucks when you have to redo the process because of a leak or something. Then you put your jar lid on and a little snug. Oops, this one doesn't feel. I'm just gonna do a different one. Okay. There we go. Okay, and I will bring you back when they are all done and ready to go into the canner. Okay, I'm trying a different angle in the garage. I hope it works out. So here we go. I've got my canner nice and hot, and the jars are ready to go in. So here we go. I kind of thought that I would have more to go to a can today, but the amount of sauce that I made was absolutely perfect. I had to top up, I think, 2 or 3 jars, and again, the amount of beans was perfect. So originally I opened 1 quart jar of dry beans, and that's all that went into that's all that went into the 7 jars that I'm processing with the beans. It took 1 quart to produce this. So now, again, this is a 3-cup size. So the processing time for doing beans for pints is 75 minutes. For quarts is 90 minutes. I'm going to be processing these jars at 90 minutes. Not only is the time for beans 90 minutes, but the time for meat. Now, this isn't an FDA approved or Alphabet Agency approved recipe. Usually when it says that it's not an approved recipe, it is because they have never tried it. That's okay. It's my family. I feel comfortable with this. The research I've done, the cleanliness before, during the process, and doing everything to spec. So, you know, doing your venting properly, doing your timing properly, everything should come out great. Okay, so I'm going to get this going. I'm going to let it vent for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to run it for the 90-minute processing time, and I might bring you guys back. I don't know. Bye. Okay, once you get your canner to your desired pressure, which is anything over 10 pounds, I believe. My elevation is around 10 pounds. I just kind of let it go a bit high here. Adjust your temperature accordingly. Most of you guys are in the house, so it's probably like a 4, somewhere between 4 and 6 on your stove. I'm just going to hang out here and adjust mine as needed. And yeah, now your time is 1 hour and 30 minutes for anything larger than a pint. So if you're doing pints, it's 75 minutes. If you're doing quarts, it's 90 minutes. Anything in between that always goes to the larger jar time. Okay, once your temperature is to where you want it, I run mine between 10 and 15 as I have a 15-pound weight. So if it gets to 15 pounds, it'll start jiggling and let me know that I'm not paying attention. My little safety feature's up. Now you adjust your temperature so it doesn't go up and down in pressure too fast, because you'll have siphoning in your jars. So once you find a good temperature where it's comfortable for it to sit at, just leave it there for the full 90 minutes. If your temperature drops below 10 pounds pressure, you do have to restart the entire process, the venting and the time. When your 90 minutes is up, the 90 minutes that I'm doing, when that is up, I will just simply turn off the heat and walk away. Let everything come back down to 0 on its own. Don't remove the weight, don't remove anything. When you do come back, the safety feature should be down, the gauge should be at 0, and when you lightly tap your weighted gauge, it shouldn't make any noise. If it makes any hissing noise, that means there's still pressure in your pressure canner, and just leave it alone. Okay, I'm back. The vent or the safety mechanism is down. The gauge is at 0. We tap this, nothing comes out. I'm just going to set you down while I lift the lid, lifting it away from your face. Okay, and now I'm going to let it sit here for another few minutes, and then I will open it up and take a peek inside. Okay, so it's been sitting for a bit, and my jars, look wonderful. So I'm going to take them out. They're still bubbling away. These look all sealed. That looks great. There they are. There's my wieners and beans in the nice sauce. See? And once they all rest back down, like right now it looks odd. It looks like there's a lot of space there. But once they start to relax, after they're done cooking, they're gonna look amazing. Okay, so I will take them upstairs in the morning and clean them up, wash the jars, and label them. Okay guys, I'm all done. I got 7 jars of wieners and beans. They all sealed. I already ate one last night. It was delicious. I want to talk to you guys quick about labeling your stuff. So when this is done, I bring them upstairs. The next day, I let them sit for the night, and then the next day I bring them up and wash my jars, make sure they've all sealed, and then put a label on them. You can get these at the dollar store. They have rolls or packs, and they're like $1, and it's 120 labels. At least that's what I get. I use these in gardening, labeling my pots as well. So I kept saying in the video that I put a half a cup of wieners in. It was a heaping third of a cup that I was putting in. Also, when I did them, I filled them a little over halfway full with the beans, the soaked beans. I would do exactly a cup instead. I still find them a little dry, depending if you like your beans drier or, you know, more juicy. I like them juicy. What else? These jars are working great. Like a lot of my Classico pasta jars I've used several times, and I've never had any problem with them not sealing. Of course, you check your lids before you use them. Make sure there's no cracks or anything in the gasket. Make sure there's no dents in the outside ring. Make sure there's no chips in the glass, and they're no different than any other canning jar. I'm going to be doing some more canning videos if there's enough interest. I'll do some other processes, water bath canning. I'll probably do a video on canning dry beans. The reason I soaked these ones and put them in the baking soda was for the reason that they're going, when I open them, I'm going to use them that way. I'm not going to be able to rinse them again. So when I dry can my kidney beans or black beans or pinto beans, when I open them, I have the opportunity to rinse them off for anything that could have been on the beans or the process of cooking beans. It releases different things. I mean, do your own research on it again. But this is one of my favorite things to do. I love, like I said, this size of a jar. It's just better. It's better than the pint because that's only 2 cups. The quart's 4 cups. It's a bit much, especially with meat and stuff. So this is a perfect size. So I encourage you to reuse your jars, as that's the process they did when they made the sauce for you. Okay, so I think that was all I wanted to talk about. Again, this is not an FDA or Alphabet Agency approved recipe. I'm not telling you to do this. I'm simply showing you what I do in my kitchen. And that's it. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to you guys coming to watch my next video. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, share it to your family and friends if you found it useful, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more. Thanks for coming. Bye-bye.